Hello, Farm Alive family!
Hello.
Hello.
Get a crowd here.
Here we are towards the end, 2019 rainy season. We're doing really well. So many people coming here, so many people having inspirations and healings. And we have 3 more new ones. First of all, I would like to introduce a volunteer and just a very good friend. Everybody,
Hello.
Farm Alive family, we have Jeff here.
How's it going?
And, and Jeff came to the farm last rainy season. Some of you might recognize him if you're watching the video and you were here at rainy season 2018. He was here and just amazing. Just served the farm, really loved it, and wanted to come back. And I told him, I said, why don't you come back? But he wanted to make a little bit of coin. So I said, why don't you get a massage certification? And sure enough, he did. He got massage certified. Now he's back with us. And he's going to be here all dry season until April. And so here he is,
Very good
Jeff.
massage therapist.
Yeah, it's a very good massage therapist. So if any of you want to come down and enjoy any of that, he's really, really good at it. That's for sure. So
And he's lovely in the greenhouse.
and amazing in the greenhouse, a great herbologist, and just a little mystic, man. Definitely a little medicine man for sure. Here he is.
Thank you.
So Jeff's here because he's got to tell a story. He's been Jeff is a skater, right?
Yeah.
You're a skateboarder,
Yeah.
and a really good one,
Yeah.
right? Like a really, really good one. So Chris Kendall, I want to see that competition when you come.
Can't wait.
I want to see that half pipe competition, my friend.
I got
I
your
hope you
board
see
set
this. Yeah, you two are going at it, and I'm going to choose who the best one is.
Oh,
That's true.
not even
Fighting
fair.
words.
Fighting words there. So okay, so he's a skateboarder, and you've always told me how you want to, like, with the skateboarding, you want to get this vegan and this consciousness out into that community. And you were here last rainy season, and when you went back to California, you were starting to talk to your and use the word homies,
Yeah.
right? So we're gonna use the word homie for this video.
Homie this,
You
homie that.
went to all the skate parks, and you were telling as many people as you possibly could
Yeah.
about you know,
This
this
lifestyle.
farm, this
Yeah,
lifestyle, you know, how you can eat better and think better and meditate and pray, and how it can make you better in anything, in any kind of activity that you do. And you kept saying, no one's gonna come, though, man. Nobody's gonna come. And then all of a sudden, though,
Out of the blue.
out of the blue, you got an email from Farm Alive family. Let me introduce you to them. We have Calvin and we have Tiffany.
Hey.
Right.
Yeah.
And Calvin, take it away. I mean,
Homies.
so this is the beginning of their story a little bit. So Calvin's the skateboarder. So
Can I jump
please,
in? I'd like
yeah.
to share. This guy calls me. He's in an office room and says, "Look at my office." And then a week later, he calls me and says, "I quit my job, and where do I fly into?" Now you can take it away.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good
so
work.
he just so you're, you know, he was just like, yeah, I quit my job, you know, and please, yeah, take it away, like, you know, and go from there.
Yeah, so when I was working at this full-time job,
What were you doing?
I'm a video editor.
Video editor, okay.
Yeah, at a PR agency, and I had this vacation scheduled, a week-long vacation for my birthday. This is why I'm also actually here, is my 31st birthday. I had a week of PTO scheduled at the job, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready to quit. And I talked to...
The aha moment a little bit, like,
Yeah.
this isn't for me anymore.
And that's when I called Jeff, and I was like, I saw all his stuff on Instagram, all his posts on the Farm of Life. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing out there in the back of a truck with coconuts and shit? I'm like, I want some of those coconuts, and I want to be in the back of that truck.
Nice.
I don't even know what's going on, but I already knew I was in before I even hit you up on the phone. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna get there somehow. I didn't even ask anything about the farm. I just asked, what airport do I fly into? Because I wanted to figure out, like, you know, how much it costs and all that.
So the interesting, I guess my question to you is, like, how were you, so you saw our website, Jeff told you about it. How were you starting to get interested in all of everything that we offer here back there?
He called me. We had some good conversations.
Remember you were talking about the energy work and Reiki
Yeah.
and...
So I think all my spiritual journey, I really started about 2 years ago.
Okay.
I was suffering from who knows what. I was just feeling like I was like dying inside, wasn't sure what was going on. My job, everything's super stressful. all my relationships, very stressful, very, very like, you know, had it up to here with whatever it was, didn't know how to relax, basically. I'm going to spas and stuff, and it's
Sure.
like healing the physical, you know, for the most part, but there's just something just lingering. I needed to figure out how to heal, and that's when I discovered Reiki.
Nice.
That's the beginning, really the beginning of my spiritual journey. I got Reiki done, and then I was like, well, I should just go to classes and learn how to do Reiki on myself, so I can actually learn to do the Reiki rather than have someone do it on me.
Yeah.
So I got certified Reiki 1, and then
Nice.
eventually Reiki 2. That's where I'm at right now. And
Excellent.
with that, I came to the farm with the intention of trying to further that practice.
Right.
What can I garner here at the farm that will help me with that practice, whatever it is, whether it's to heal myself, to heal others, but what I've learned is, of course, it's to heal here.
Yeah.
This first.
Yeah, and we're going to get to that here in a second. So that was kind of your movement towards this place. So you were having a little bit of a spiritual awakening with the Reiki and energy and hands-on healing, and you wanted to kind of deepen all of that, right? Tiffany, you know, talk to us a little bit. So were you just kind of jumping in for the ride? You guys have been dating for what, 5
months?
5 months. You guys
Yeah.
been only. So were you just kind of jumping in and saying okay, or was there did you check this place out and was there anything intriguing?
So for me, it was more like beginning of this year, I had a really rough January. It was like I was going out, I was really unhappy with my life. I had no job and was going out 4 times a week, drinking, partying, and then it's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, I always went out with my 2 guy friends, and February came around, and they're just like, you know what, let's do dry February. No drinking, partying, whatever. Let's do some
Nice.
more wholesome stuff. And I was actually pretty upset about that. And I didn't realize.
Dry February.
Didn't realize why. But that month really forced me to like focus on myself and kind of like look at what kind of reality I'm living in. And I'm like, what am I doing? So by the time March came around, I was already feeling way better. Had no urge to drink, nothing whatsoever. And I've always kind of been in and out of spiritual stuff and like
Right.
more mystic stuff. But it was growing up.
You were talking about you had an uncle that was kind of
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
Buddhist, right? And
Yes.
so you've kind of been exposed to some of this a little
Yeah,
bit,
exactly.
as
But
weird as it was.
for me, it was really hard though because it's like when you're a kid
Sure.
growing up, you
Strange.
want to fit in with
Yep.
friends, have friends who have similar interests, but I didn't have a lot of friends or like any friends who were into that stuff. So it was like always in and out for me.
Right.
But March was when I met him, and then that kind of like
Then you could kind of
like,
open up, yeah,
deepened
and be
it.
yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, how beautiful. Two
So-
authentic people meeting each other.
Thank you.
That's-
I mean,
That's kind of beautiful.
you're welcome.
That's kind of beautiful to hear both your stories and how they've come together. How like you guys were thinking about something different. You had like a dry February. You were starting to open up with the Reiki, and then you knew Jeff, right? And then you were like, man, I think this might be the place. You know. So now let's like talk about your experience here a little bit, and it's been quite a big one, right? And it's been pretty cool. And so, Calvin, take it away. Your experience here.
So I came here with the intention, I think initial intention was to like figure out what my destiny was. Like where do I take this Reiki practice? What do I do with my career? How can I help?
I remember you telling me that. That's
That was
where
the
do I
first
go
thing.
from here?
Yeah. What do I do? Like I just want to I wanted to connect with my spirit guides. I wanted to connect with the universe and like show me what I'm supposed to do with my life.
I remember we had that conversation before you ever came. We had a Skype talk, right? And you were like, "That's what I want to do." But then, I remember that first day though. You were like, "I think clearly now I came here to heal." Talk to us a little bit about that.
So after coming here, I realized that like you can't really go into figuring out what your destiny is until you've worked on yourself more. And I was kind of in denial that I needed to work on myself, right?
Right.
And so what I realized was like, hey, I got some deep set, my emotional body. I got some things I need to get rid of. I got to figure out what that is. And then if it doesn't really matter what it is, I just got to get rid of it. And so I changed my intention to focus on healing myself and not being attached to where that goes, but just with the intention of healing first.
Yep. Excellent. And so let's talk about some of the modalities. So you guys kind of went in deep. You hit the two biggies almost back to back, like within a few days from each other. So you did grandmother medicine
Yeah.
and you did grandfather medicine.
Within 2 days apart.
Within
Take a
2
rest.
days. Yep. Yep.
It was an intense weekend, I'll say that.
Right, and you both did, and talk to us definitely a little bit about that, because I mean those were pretty powerful experiences for you. So talk a little bit about ayahuasca and then peyote.
For me, ayahuasca was not as powerful as peyote. We did ayahuasca first, all night, overnight.
A little bit of a lighter night sometimes with grandma, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It was a chiller night.
Yeah.
Got some purging out. Definitely released. Has some release. But what really nailed it in was the peyote the day after. Right?
Yeah.
Was it like a day
I
apart?
believe it was like the next day, then the following morning we started.
Yeah. So, peyote really hit it hard on the head there. I really went deep.
Yeah, talk to us about that
Yeah.
experience, right? Because really, I mean, so so peyote was still kind of, you were feeling it kind of, and then you came into the spa. I do a lot of hands-on healing myself, and you came into the spa, and we had a chat a little bit, and then we had our session. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So prior to the spa, I had this intention that I had also set to heal whatever it is with my my past, which is involves my father.
Yes.
And trying to figure out what this resentment's coming from, where this fear and anxiety is coming from. And so when we did peyote, really hit it hard. I purged, which you're not really supposed to do, but after the purge, I was like, okay, well, I feel like I need to go deeper with this.
Right.
Like, the medicine's hitting me. I know it's in me.
Yep.
But I wanna go a little step
Take it to
further.
another step.
And so that's when I was like, I got to see Brian in this spa. So I went to see Brian in the spa, and that's when he told me to just whatever happens on this table, just let go.
Let go.
Let it go.
Yep.
So the session continued. I didn't really know what to expect, so I came in with no expectation. And he did his thing, and it took a while for it to really get going, but when he when it was just insane.
You can talk about it.
In gigantic emotional release, he pulled this whatever the fuck was inside of me, whatever was here in my emotional body. It was obviously very deep, because he was really working this thing up, and I was laying there on the table. He's pulling this thing slowly out of me. My breath starts to increase. I'm starting to shake on the table, and it just keeps getting crazier and crazier on the table. And and then he whispers in my ear, "Let it come, man. Let it let it cry it out, dude. Let it go."
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, on the table, and I'm just, eventually my body's shaking. I feel like I'm levitating almost off the table, and whatever he did, this thing came up out of me, and I was just bursting into tears on this table, and then after tears, right into tears of joy, bliss.
The
Pure
blocks
bliss.
had gone, and now he could really feel the true essence of who he was.
Whatever was inside just lifted off, and poof, and I felt reborn, literally reborn on the table with so much energy. The most energy I've ever experienced in my entire life on this table, in this moment. Pure bliss, which I've never experienced like that ever, and really felt connected.
Nice. And then for the rest of the day, it was really like, basically you could see peyote. Then you could see what peyote was teaching, its instructions, and for the rest of the day, you were very, very tapped in.
Yeah, Brian said, after this session, it took a while to, just calm down from this
Right.
His energy. It was so intense, in a good way. He told me to, use this, energy while you have it.
The knowledge of presence, the knowledge of oneness, the knowledge of the power of now is what grandfather teaches. And certain people through life have gifts. And it's really not me doing it. It's a gift of channeling light, channeling the spirits of peyote. And the very first day I did peyote, I felt a calling to do it. And so I do individual one-on-one sessions, a little bit different than the typical peyote ceremony. I do like one-on-one sessions, and I just move light through someone, and it opens up their energy to seeing presence, oneness, and the power of now. And it can bring so much healing. And it brought that way for you. And then the rest of the day, you were like, man,
I was connected for the whole day,
super locked in.
taking advantage of this energy, this newfound energy that I had. And Brian left me with the one piece of advice that he said that I received a gift. On that table, I received a gift, and that gift was the gift of healing.
Yes.
So, furthering my Reiki practice, I received this gift that I'm learning to heal myself, first and foremost, and then I can use that for
Heal others.
the best of the universe,
Absolutely.
whatever that might be.
Absolutely. And these two are going to be unbelievable healers for sure. Yep. Yep. And then also you guys had a lot of conversations too, because we were just talking about that, about, as far as job and work and how you kind of envision your future, and I think that's beautiful too. Talk to us a little bit about that, what we kind of foresee.
Yeah.
It's not etched in stone, but like what you've already, it's kind of what you're thinking about.
Yeah, so after that, that whole day, I basically thought about all my intentions returning back to my, normal world. This is normal, but returning back to
Right.
San Francisco with a game plan. And the game plan is, one, I'm going to resolve the issue with my father. I'm going to let it go. And I'm just going to
Forgive Dad.
forgive Dad and
Woo!
welcome him with wide open arms.
Anybody out there, if you're watching this right now, go forgive your dad.
And I'm going to do yoga every day. I'm going to continue sun gazing, which Brian taught me how to really hone in on that skill, to open up the third eye.
Yep.
And just keep the vibrations high. Just keep them high, and keep healing the self to get rid of any negative energy. So yeah, yoga every day, sun gazing every day. Not every day in San Francisco because the fog, but where possible.
Yep.
And just continue healing the self, and
That's awesome.
Staying connected to the universe. And
I can see you doing your freelance, because you're a freelance social, right? Social marketer, right? Or social.
so after I quit my job, now I'm
you're
a
freelance.
freelancer, and I'm letting go of like what I'm allowing the universe to give me what I need.
Yeah.
For the freelance practice.
You're going to do some freelancing, and then you're also, once all this is all healed up, you're gonna probably have a little spot where you're the healer, right? You're gonna heal people, do a little Reiki work on people, right? Have a little room in your house where you're doing sound therapy, and energy healing. I can see that. I can visualize that for you, man.
But it's already in the works. I'm gonna get a massage table right in my living room. Is gonna be the healing room.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sharing that with Tiffany, because she's gonna practice in some healing work
That's
she
awesome.
definitely has some healing gifts as well.
Tiffany, so your experience here. So you got here, and talk to us a little bit about that. You did the ayahuasca, you did the peyote, and talk to us about, those experiences.
So, I don't think I've ever told anyone this on the phone.
Yay. Talk to us.
But like when you first told us, like, go barefoot, really feel. I remember thinking, I have to go barefoot. And,
Yeah, it's tough.
At,
I remember the first couple nights you were terrified. Remember a grasshopper? Like I could tell kind of immediately. I'm like, oh, okay. Like sometimes you have guests that, this is nature out here, right? We're way out here, and we're in nature, and sometimes, right, the bugs, you're a little bit triggered by the bugs.
Yeah, typically I'm not super I won't scream, but if it catches me off guard, then I'll get oh my god,
Sure.
So that,
Of course.
and I wasn't used to these freaking giant grasshoppers, so it was kind of unsettling for me. But over time, as we stayed here longer, did more barefoot walking, felt more and more comfortable with it. And so with ayahuasca, she was also pretty gentle with me too. It was more
it's kind of a mild night.
So my intention was always heal me, heal myself, and show me like how and how do I speak my truth? Because I always
Yeah.
felt like past few years I've been changing my direction so often because
Yeah.
I felt like I haven't found what it is I want to do. But on the night of ayahuasca, it was pretty mild. I did not like throw up, purge in that sense, but I think like you know, I was nauseous the whole night, so I was laying down and just practicing like deep breathing.
Good.
And I realized like the lesson she was teaching me was that like you've already done, you know, the healing work yourself. Past few years, like including like past 2.5, 3 years, I was struggling with the breakup of my last relationship because that was very emotionally it just like crushed me.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I was trying to heal from that, and like I personally am just someone who is very emotional. Like I've always been emotional, so I'm not afraid to cry and like
Right.
let it out. Whereas like I have friends where something bothers them, they won't say a thing. They'll keep it trapped
Just
inside.
hide
and
it
just
inside
kinda, like,
and stuff her down.
Yeah, stuff it
That's
in.
most people. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think ayahuasca basically taught me that, you know, she was like, you've done all the healing
That's
yourself.
great.
You don't need my help, and you're on the right path. Just keep doing the work. So it was nice, but, you know, like, when it was like 6 a.m. already, 7 a.m., everyone was like, you know, coming down. That was when she also like kicked into me, and I was like, okay, I need to like really like breathe deeply and like connect with the earth. And that was when Jeff and Calvin brought me to this tree that was near the temple, and they told me to just sit down, ground myself. And I remember when I did that, like everything was really bright, everything was glowing, and I could feel like it felt like the roots that I was sitting on, like the floor and the ground was throbbing like a heart. And
Yeah.
so I felt like the energy I was creating inside my body was going into the ground and being kind of like cleansed and like coming back in. So kept doing that until I could like feel better and all of that. So that was my ayahuasca experience. For peyote, it was more like my life in review. So that was really pretty trippy too. At one point, like, so I took like an additional dose after this, like.
Yeah, after I got done drumming, so I do a little bit of a drumming. I run the ceremonies, and I do an old ancient Weechel drumming tradition with them. And then when I'm done, I see how everybody's doing. And I could tell that, you know, you might need a little bit. You were in the medicine. Sometimes peyote is interesting. It's subtly profound. And so the universe is right underneath, right at your fingertip.
Yeah.
But sometimes people with peyote can't quite grasp it until there's an energetic event like an energy session with you, you know, or something like that. Then all of a sudden, boom, you start to experience everything. Ayahuasca is more your nothing, and peyote is more your everything. And sometimes everything is something that we are where we are. It's already here. And so we're kind of used to it. And when we're in that kind of expansion, we don't see it always.
Yeah.
But I did give you a little bit more.
So after that second dose, you know, we're going down, and one of the staff was having a very emotional purge from peyote. And I remember as we were walking down to like the restaurant area, I remember hearing her, and like it reminded me of how I purged that way, like the past few years, like just from like, you know, my relationship, the breakup and all that stuff. And, you know, it was like a soothing, kind of weird to say, to hear that, you know, you hear someone cry, like it's soothing, but it was soothing. It was kind of like I knew she was gonna feel better.
Yeah.
That she was gonna like
It's a clearing.
realize something, you know, it's she's releasing, right? So that was like, it kind of like was like the send off for the day. And I think after that, I don't really remember what I did, but went to the kitchen, grabbed some fruit, and I headed down to the Vitality pool. And there I bumped into Calvin. He was there already. It was like he was waiting for me, and it was funny because like he and I both I took out 2 mangoes, and it was almost like we were meant to meet there to share the mangoes at the pool. So that was really cool. After we were like cracking up, laughing, and like, you know, just kind of high on life.
Yes.
We went up, parted ways. Well, actually, he got stuck at like a plant and was like just looking at it. And
That can happen sometimes on peyote. Again, the power of the universe is in, a leaf. And sometimes you can get kind of, stuck in just staring at your reflection, which is just in a little insignificant, what you thought was insignificant thing, right? So there's the universe in everything. And then it brought you to the spa, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, basically that entire way up to the spa was kind of like my life in review, because there are certain points where I, like, saw Calvin, like, walk away, and it was almost like I was watching a movie screen of, like, just his life without me in it. And then at one point, I got detoured by a spider because I was like, I'm not messing with this. Went around and ended up to the volunteers' house, and then on the platform, and I visited all the platforms on the farm, like the one.
You were all over the place. One of the
Yeah.
most beautiful things that my wife and I saw for you doing, and of course it was after our session, but just you sitting there in beautiful stillness, just watching the butterflies at the
Yeah.
pool.
And I
That was
remember-
truly beautiful, and that was again peyote, the present moment, right?
Yeah.
I remember too the way when we did art the next morning, and the way you sort of capture that whole day into one image that you put on the paper was like just the way you felt so nourished
Yeah.
by everything that you were seeing as you traveled around from platform to platform and the pool and
Yep.
and was time spent with all the plants and
Yep.
trees.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that was magical.
But yeah, like, you know, I spent a lot of my time at the Peace Pool and like that platform over there with like
Right.
all of the butterflies. And it's crazy, you like notice things like, oh, butterflies there's like 3 in a row, like all the time, or at least in that area.
Things that, and things that you might ordinarily might never see, like you start paying attention to the small details in life. And then of course that helps you when you come down from this medicine is to pay attention, because life is happening all around you.
Yep.
There's never nothing happening,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of times people think, oh, my life, everything revolves around me.
Yeah.
Nope, not at all. Life is happening everywhere. And of course, we had a little spa session, right,
Yes.
too, and we opened
Yes.
up a little bit here.
Yes.
We opened up that center of self-esteem, right, and
Yeah.
that was really good. And I think
Yeah.
once that popped you open, then you really got to open and flourish into
Yeah.
the rose opening of the flower petals of peyote.
Yeah, I was telling Jody, as you know, kind of like my experience coming back up from the Vitality Pool, about how like split up from Calvin, and then right as I was finishing the story, like he came up and she was like, oh, and there again, your guys' paths intertwine. And that was when he was sending me, he was like, Brian's asking for you. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like heading down, and then like I ended up like stopping on a rock, and I just started crying, and I was like, where is this coming from? And like the rock, when I looked down, I think it said love, or there was like a heart, I don't remember.
Yeah, cookie.
But I was like, like crying, and I sat down, I was like kind of like reflecting for a little bit, and that's when like Brian's coming up, and he was like,
Hey.
I'll see you at the spa in a minute. Like, okay. So I went down there. He came in and he's like, everything's good, right? I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, okay, well, he's like, I just want to let you know you have a really beautiful soul. Like, you just need to let go of, unblock all of that. You have to let go of, like, what people think about you. You are enough. And when he said all that, I started crying, and he's like,
The
lay
river
down.
flow.
Lay down. And I was like kind of confused, like how'd he know and all that stuff, but I just trusted him and laid on the table, and it was awesome. Like, I remember seeing, like, first thing I saw was that, like, it was just like it almost like tendrils, like, in my mind going this way. And there were like a lot of different like geometric shapes, but like the you know, the visions and the the colors were really soothing, but also kind of like throbbing and almost like breathing. So that was, yeah, and I think I remained in a floaty state for
A long time. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really beautiful, you know. And sometimes, you know, sessions with me aren't always necessary if you're deep into the medicine, but sometimes they are to kind of get you to see the depth of grandfather medicine, you know. And again, I'm an honor to have a little bit of a gift to be able to move that light. And it's awesome that you guys are, you know, you were able to experience that, and you were able to really open up and grow from it. And then of course all the other stuff, right? The waterfalls, right?
Oh,
You went to
yeah.
waterfalls, the amazing spaces there, ecstatic dance, the yoga, right, with Holly. You guys really loved yoga with Holly, and the conversations after that. And then just a few minutes ago we were talking about after you leave here, right, what your plans are, you know. Your plans are to have like a little home, you know, to do freelance
Yes.
We're
work.
moving in together.
Moving in together. Moving in together
Sharing
and
the healing space.
sharing the healing space. I think that's really awesome. You two are just the finest couple, and I can't thank Jeff enough for, you know, opening this space up to all of his skate homies, and so everybody out there, you know,
If you're a
you
homie,
know, if you're a homie of Jeff, let's go, bring it down here. If you're thinking a little bit about change of life, or man, you know, I want something different out of my life rather than just skateboarding and smoking pot and drinking lots of beer.
Let's get one
You know,
going.
There's
one going.
There's got to be something more to this. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but maybe there is. And come on down, and maybe we can show you something a little bit different, you know. So, all right.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
Thank you.
We love you, Farmer Life family.
Bye.
Love you guys. Bye bye.